Traumatized right now. I couldn't even come out of my car at some point in time. I was moved to tears when I saw our oldest courts in Africa, possibly, but certainly the oldest in Nigeria. When I saw it raised down, my heart bled. I couldn't watch any further. And I was asking myself, how did we get here? This was more than just a peaceful protest. This was more than just a few agitation. I think all of you have seen it, that the level of destruction, the level of pain that we will have, it's a lot. And I want to use this opportunity again to appeal, to appease, and to say that indeed it's not a Lagos that was handed over to me May 29th last year. I'm the 15th governor of this state since 1967. I'm not sure we've witnessed anything close to this before, with the level of destruction and the places we've been to today. And there are others that we certainly couldn't be to. And I hope and believe that you gentlemen of the press are giving it a right reportage. But however, moving forward is to say that we need to continue to heal ourselves. We need to continue to talk to ourselves. And we need to advise and implore some of our citizens that are still using social media to instigate or to ask people to stand up again, or to incite citizens, young men, at the level of what we've seen. I think if anybody is still doing that, I think it's much more that we need to ask ourselves. Such people will probably require some other psychological test. It certainly will not be under my watch that we will lose the city that has the largest population in Africa, the city that has the largest economy in the whole of the black race. And I want to say that indeed, enough is enough. We need to heal ourselves. And you saw the faces of our citizens out there, that they want peace. A whole lot of them came out and said, we want peace. And peace we will get. Peace we will have in our city. Because that's what we are. That's who we are. Gentlemen of the press, just to also mention that we went to the hospitals. We've lost people in several parts of the city. But we went to the hospitals that had direct relative to what happened on Tuesday. And you all heard, live on camera, that we do not have any patient on admission at the Reddington Hospital at Lekki. But I'm aware that there are still 2 patients at their head office annex, or at their head office in Victoria Island. And the 2 patients are doing very well and they're responding very well. You were also with us when we went to the General Hospital, where the Chief Medical Director explained to us all of the numbers they've had in the last 4 days. And he did mention clearly to us that regarding what happened on Tuesday night, that everybody has been discharged except for 4 that have been transferred, to the wards. And 2 of them, I'm aware, are on POP, which is called Plaster of Paris. And he confirmed to us that they're doing very well and there is no problem at all. We also have a patient at Lasut, who I'm also aware that is recovering very, very well and stable, and we're hoping that in the days ahead they will also be discharged. I'm also aware that there are 2 patients at Lagoon Hospital and they're also doing very well. In all of the private hospitals and of course the government hospitals, we have indicated that government will be picking the medical bills of all wounded, injured patients for all of the things that have happened in the whole city. You know, if it had appeared at any of our general hospitals, nobody is meant to pay anything, so that we can quickly push all of our consumables and rescue lives, you know, to the largest extent. I would also want to mention and talk about our promised judicial panel of inquiry onto the incident that happened on Tuesday night. So what we've done is we've consulted and we're now expanding the terms of reference of the panel that we set up on Monday, because it's exactly the same kind of composition. And so that same panel, headed by retired Justice Doris Okuobi, will be investigating, you know, all of the issues that happened at the Toll Plaza on Tuesday night. So their terms of reference have been expanded, and for emphasis, the sitting will start on Monday at the Lagos Court of Arbitration International Center, at the Lagos Court of Arbitration International Center, which is in Lekki. I think it's around the first or the second roundabout in Lekki. They will be sitting, you know, and receiving petitions, you know, from Monday. But of course, if you need to send them petition via email, their email address again is judicialpanel@lagostate.gov.ng. These emails have been populated, their telephone numbers too have been sent out. So they will start their sitting on Monday. So we will expect, you know, everyone, you know, that have, you know, a petition, a case, or something, you know, to pass on to this panel. And like you said, they've been empowered extensively to determine how they run and how, you know, they conduct themselves at the panel. I think the final thing I want to talk about, it's regarding the curfew that it's on. I have consulted with various levels of security agencies we have in the States. In fact, some of them are in a meeting right now as we speak, and we just came off the telephone. And all of us have gone around the States, and we believe that we still have pockets of insecurity that we need to deal with, but just pockets, and they are isolated cases which they are trying to bring to full normalcy. So we've decided that we're going to be easing the curfew from tomorrow morning. And so what that easing means is people will be allowed to go out from 8 a.m. in the morning till 6 p.m. in the evening. For emphasis, from 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, you will be allowed to go out, to go to wherever you wish, till 6 p.m. in the evening. We have also commenced the cleanup of the city, because the city needs a whole lot of cleanup, a whole lot of roadblocks, tires burnt on the road. And so Loma, like you've seen, are out already, and so they'll be working all throughout the night. But in the event that they do not finish, I want to admonish and appeal to motorists and our citizens to be careful on the road. Please, if you do not need to go out, please stay at home. But if you must and you have to go out, please drive with a lot of caution, because there's still a lot of barricades, there's still a lot of burnt tires that will have broken bottles and broken things here and there. So please be careful while you're on the road. We will try and clean up the city overnight. They are out already. We've pushed all of the men and women of Loma. They are out already doing the cleaning. But in the event that they do not have the capacity to clean it up fully overnight, I'm just, you know, advising all of us to just drive, you know, cautiously. We will look at the curfew on Saturday and Sunday, and we'll come back to you what will happen in the days, Mondays and Tuesdays and into the week. I want to, once again, I want to thank you, especially you gentlemen that have stood with us all throughout this journey today. You've been frontline, you know, you've been frontline newscasters yourself, and I want to commend, you know, this partnership. And like I've said, Lagos needs to heal, and the healing had started. Thank you very much, and have a good evening. Thank you.
I don't know if you have a couple of questions.
Well, okay.
Now, Channels TV.
Yes.
My question has to do with the cost. We've seen the carnage all around, and I can't imagine what you're going to do, being the leader of the state. But who's going to bear the cost how is it going to be approached in terms of Lagos healing? You talked about compensation for those who've been affected. How is it going to work out? We're at the Circle Mall. All the shops are gone, and that's just one of the places. So how's this going to work out? Is there a plan in place?
We really need to figure out the plan. You saw 120 buses, brand new buses gone. You saw a first-class terminal gone. You saw an historic building that is over 200 years old. You saw the cultural heritage of our people, 3 centuries, everything in that place gone. To begin to put numbers or to imagine how we're going to put it together, it will be a very difficult answer for me. Seeing the amount of destruction on private properties, is enormous. Is enormous, you know. So I think it's a conversation that we need to take forward, you know, and we need to think through ourselves, you know. We're just bleeding out of a budgetary, you know, plan. Lagos had to reduce its budget this year, for example. There are no indications of any great, IGL next year, you know, because of the pandemic. Businesses are just trying to come back, right? So where's the money going to come from? I don't have answers yet, right? So this is where, you know, the pain and the reconciliation has to be total. It has to be total forgiveness, you know, within all of us. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.